Hey everyone, this is A-Rock coming to you from Canine Wizard TV, presented by Olive Branch Canine. This is episode 2 of Project Lola, and this episode we're going to be focused on name recognition. So I want to premise it with this. Anytime you bring a dog into your household or into your family, it's important that you get, whether it's a dog or a puppy, it's important that you get everybody invested into the training process. So what I like to do is I like to start with the twins, our twins, Emma and Bella, get them involved in the process. So one, the puppy learns as they gets older to recognize their voice. It's a voice of confirmation. It's a voice of reinforcement. So in this next video, you're going to see Emma and Bella doing some things to produce or condition and help support that training process of name recognition.
All right, before we get started, let's talk about our venue setup and equipment. First, you want to have an area that's free of distractions. You don't want a bunch of people walking around, any food or rubbish laying on the ground or anything like that. Just because you're going to have to run a high frequency of reps or get as many reps as you can without your puppy or dog wandering off and being interested in something else. The next thing, you want to make sure you're using a food or a toy of value. If you're using a toy for a puppy, I would recommend using a toy or reward that has a squeaker, because you're going to see that a squeaker is going to come into play as we get into these exercises. And then also, if you can start off for these first exercise and repetitions using 2 people, you'll get up more repetitions in for the initial exercises. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with Emma and Bella as they move on to demonstrating these exercises. All right, so for your first repetitions, you're going to be relatively close to the person across from you. This is just to shorten the distance and to keep the push-pull of the reward and the release of the dog pretty simple and streamlined. So as you can see, the voice recognition or the name recognition comes first, and then the squeak, and then the second person releases the dog. So, as you can see, the girls are keeping her engaged as much as possible, playing a little tug, adding some value to that. Don't get upset or don't get frustrated if it doesn't work out for the first few times. You can stimulate the dog by waving the tug or the toy along with the squeak. But we want to get into the habit of first recognizing that the name comes first, the stimulation, the squeak comes second with the enticement, and then the release of the puppy. So as we begin to recognize a high frequency of focus and recognition, what we can start doing is creating some more distance between yourself and the person helping you out. Also, we can extinct or take away the use of the squeaker so much and focus a little bit more on either the enticement, or absolutely what you want to do is use the name recognition. So it would be name recognition. You would say your pet's name, and then maybe wave the toy a little bit to get its focus, and then the release. So the intent is to not place a high degree of dependency on the squeak. Also, you can switch it up, just like the girls are doing here, and use something different, like a ball. You could use 2 balls, you could use 3 balls, you could use a combination of a squeaker toy and a ball. This is just in case your dog is not as interested in one or the other, you can try a variety of things. And absolutely, you can also use food, obviously for adolescent dogs and adult dogs. For Lola here, for the purposes of this, we want to get her a little bit more focused on doing some retrieval or some chasing, just to kind of help her burn some energy. So, as you can see, not only are the girls using that voice recognition, but they're also encouraging her and stimulating her by petting her and keeping her engaged as much as possible. So that's very important in developing the dog's commitment and confirmation of the voices of the people in the household and the people that are going to be engaged with her on a daily basis. And also, it's going to help later on as you get into more complex exercises and more involved training and development for your puppy, your adolescent dog, or your adult dog. So as you can see here, it's a team effort. So again, don't be discouraged. At this point, it's not a huge issue to keep saying or replicating the use of her name, just as long as eventually you get the focus. So let's go ahead and recap this episode. Remember your venue setup, make sure you're using the right equipment, your food selection, your treat selection, and your reward. The most important thing is to keep your repetitions and your exercises short, keep them engaging, and also make sure you're having a good time. Make sure you're using that voice recognition first with the name, and then you're moving into the squeak, the enticement, the stimulation with the reward or the toy or whatever you're using, the ball. And don't be afraid to do this by yourself. Keep your repetitions short. Get as many repetitions as you can. It's going to take several exercises for you to build up a ritual and for it to be kind of a consistent norm. And then you're going to see that focus. You're going to see that recognition as your process develops and you get more engagements with your puppy, your adolescent dog, or your adult dog. Again, this is A-Rod from Canine Wizard TV, presented by Olive Branch Canine. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you tune in to more episodes of Project Lola. God bless.